Hello, you beautiful people. We should be live now. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad. For those who are first time here, just quick introduction. I am a tarot card interpreter. That's about it. So, in tonight's show, there will be a general guidance for each star sign. And I'm gonna start as per usual with the collective guidance. That's a global one, and the cards for it you can find in the thumbnail. However, I'm gonna show them to you right now. So the first one for the collective guidance, it is the Queen of Swords, followed by the second card that we do have, which stands as the Five of Cups from one side. And the third card for the collective guidance, which stands from the other side of the Queen of Swords, that is going to be the High Priestess. Okay, so it is the High Priestess. So the technique used, or the method used, hello Sherry, and Anuri. I hope I do pronounce your name correctly. So the technique used today is going to be elemental dignity. That is how the card interacts with each other through the elements they are and how these elements fuses, and that is how you do make the interpretation. And the collective guidance relates to human interaction through these three cards. Okay, or what's the human interactions are going to emphasize on for the next few days, or maybe even for the next few weeks. And it does look like that's what we should be most aware of, is that people around us are going to be much more, for the lack of better words, say touchier than before, especially when it comes to private matters. And that will force people to become slightly more, if you want to call it slightly more selfish. We can see that's very clearly within this elemental dignity. Okay, so you promise something, that is just for example. So you make a promise that's couple of days after that becomes very disadvantageous for you to fulfill. The other side totally doesn't need you to fulfill it, but they are going to make you to fulfill it because you already promised, you know. So they are going to do it because they can, not because they do need to. So it's going to be very important to bite your tongue. We all gotta do that when it comes to interacting with people for the next few days, and even for the next few weeks. Especially if what we are to say, it's not gonna come anything good out of it. For example, confrontations. You have a fight with someone and you want to say how bad person they are. Nothing good comes out of it. You ain't gonna benefit, they ain't gonna benefit, no one benefits from it. So maybe you want to bite your tongue for a better time to do so, because they will remember that. And forgiveness, it's not exactly within those cards, right? That will be something that will carry on for a very, very long time into the future. Of course, if you don't care, by all means do it. So also, people will be more negligent toward the rules, and people will be more prone to cross certain lines, and as well certain boundaries for what those cards are showing, to get their way, obviously, go forward. And for that reason, it will be also very important to be careful whom you are trusting and whom you are letting close to you for the next few days. From the other elemental dignity, that's and lastly, people are going to be a bit more reluctant as well, especially kind of reluctant in a sense of changing their heart about one thing or another if they are not tied to it. Okay, so for example, someone just told you about what they want to do, right? or what they plan to do. They never promise you to do so, and as good person you are, you think that they're gonna keep up to their word, and you know, in a few days after, just surprisingly realize that that's not gonna be the case, because they will have to put an actual effort to keep up their word, but instead they can go for the easy way out, and it's exactly what they're gonna do. So just be careful about that kind of development. Now, the other elemental dignity is a little bit more spiritual than, also revolves people around us, but yet it's a bit more spiritual. That is the connection on a more, how can I put it into, yeah, spiritual level. Those two, High Priestess influencing the Queen of Swords. Okay. So with those, what do we have with those two? Callousness, right away. It's a callousness. It is where people neglect, say, emotions over reason, and is where, you know, you feel bad about, you know, not being, or someone feels bad about not being correct, or fair was the word that I was searching for, and yet they aren't, because they just can't do it. Okay, so that is what we need, all of us need to be aware of for the next few days to a few weeks. It is human interactions, and we have to be very careful about how we trust and move forward with people around us. And if we totally have to, then especially in our business, that is, it would be best if we sign it up in a contract or in some kind of a arrangement which is written down, because otherwise it seems that we are to be burned. But we also fall into that particular count. So I guess it suffices to say here that if we do wish to push something through within the next few days, that is the way doing it. Burning people around, being callous, ruthless, you know, and it is just disregarding all the consequences which our actions are gonna provoke. And we can definitely push it through. And if the costs suffice, well, it is your choice how you're gonna do it. All right, so with that said, moving to for the tarot readings for the 12 star signs. Now, before I do so, a few notes about the show. There are going to be 12 readings, 12 primary readings, that is, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And also there are going to be 3 readings which are going to be a gift from me to you guys. So 3 of you are going to have a free reading, or can have a free reading, so to speak. One is going to take place after Cancer star sign, the other one is going to take place after Scorpio star sign, and the third one is going to be after Pisces star sign. And in order to claim a free reading, all that you gotta do is just wait until I do announce when the free reading starts, and ask a question here into the comments down below that you wish me to answer it through my tarot cards. And I'm going to pick one question, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question itself. If you do want to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And finally, if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you will have your reading at the end of the stream, that is guaranteed. And should your Super Chat be $20 or above, you're going to get that very same elemental dignity reading that I'm doing for the star signs themselves. I'm sorry for my cough, but I still haven't fully recovered from the flu, which I had. But if I wait that to happen, I should stay dormant for a few weeks, maybe a month. So with all that said, moving forward with Aries, you can keep track to the star signs I'm reading for by observing the glyph being here. And hello, Shanna. Pisces Moonbeam, by the way, is going to tune up a little bit later. But she is going to tune around. Right, so first card for Aries, we do have the five of wands, followed by the 9 of wands, and the last one, the third one here, that will be the 6 of swords. Hey, hello Anna. How are you doing? How are you holding up? Okay, so again for Aries, those 3 cards. 5 of wands, 9 of wands, 6 of swords. Aries are gonna have quite a few surprises coming their way. That is what they need to be prepared for. That is what they need to know about. Those surprises definitely are not gonna entirely fit within Aries' plans. So some of you may not find them very pleasant surprises, but it will be very difficult for you to disregard the fact that they are very efficient surprises. So the core of those cards, Aries, it is the main thing that you should need to know about it is that your plans very soon are gonna need a rearrangements. They will need realignments with the new opportunities that are going to show up, because those opportunities are going to present you with an options for turnarounds, especially in situations with people, or even just personal situations that you are falling behind, or straight away you are failing, and you can make the turnaround, you can make the reversal and end up with the upper hand being in there. However, in order to take an action, what you need to know it is that it will require some courage, because the actions which will, the action that is going to be required from you to take, will be quite, for a lack of a better word, I'm gonna say unorthodox for you. So it's not something that you usually resort yourself to. Okay, it's not something that you are usually, the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to solving a crisis, or taking advantage of an opportunity, and so on and so forth. If you do decide not to act upon those things, then no changes whatsoever for the next few days for you, and even for the next a week or two. But definitely you can stir a lot in your life, and you can make it much more comfortable. One advice from those cards for you, Aries, it is that whenever you have to do a performance, whenever you do have to do an action, or a move, your experience is gonna talk to you. So listen to your experience, not to your intuition. Very important from these cards. Got a new stove. Oh my god. So the old one ain't gonna cause any troubles anymore. General, welcome to the stream. Hope you do have a good time. Hope you enjoy it. Right, so that was Aries. Now moving on, next we do have Taurus. The Chariot is for Taurus, first card, followed by the second one, which is the Moon. And the third one for you, Taurus, that is going to be the Two of Swords. So this is how the Elemental Dignity stands for you. Those three, like this. And very soon you're gonna feel in rush, maybe it is the way how I should say it. It is like there is no time anymore, you know, there is nothing for you to wait for anymore. It is like, you know, all the information is here. What else, what more proof do you need in order to to make a move. And the move you are to make, man, with that Chariot being there on the prime, there are going to be a colossal efforts which are to be exerted from your behalf. Very determined actions, by the way. I mean, you are going to truly know what you're doing, whatever those actions are regarding to. They may regard to your business, they may regard to your love life, depending on where this elemental dignity manifests for you. But you need to know that very, very soon the true battle begins, right, for you. The true battle to, for example, break through in your business or into your career, to, for example, save your career, to break through in your love life, or to save your relationship or your marriage. It comes very, very soon. And your future pretty much, because we do have that moon card next to the Chariot like this, okay, that's pretty much a sign that your future depends on it. And you can't, it's, the word is not save, it's more like a conserve an effort and even resources. You want something, then you have to throw everything you got into getting it, sustaining it, making it happen. And if you do so, then at the end of this road, you are going to feel very, very proud of yourself. Now, this is a general reading, okay? I cannot be that specific, so take it with a grain of salt. But usually where such card manifests, it is around someone's wish. Now, wish is different from a dream, all right? You may wish to have a family. So that means, that is just for example, that means that very soon you're gonna have to make a colossal effort into that direction, so eventually that thing happen. And under very soon, I mean in the next few days to a week or two. But yeah, it's about the stir for you, and it's a stir that you don't want to miss, because it's definitely stirring you in a direction that you are supposed to be at, you're supposed to go through, you're supposed to live through, and as well experience. Right, so that was Taurus. Next, we do have Gemini. Page of Pentacles. The second card, that will be the Three of Pentacles. And the third card for you, that is going to be the Star. So this is how the elemental dignity stands. Page of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, the Star card. So that isn't that cannot be even translated of what you need to know, because according to these cards, Gemini, especially those two, okay, those two, they're pretty much describing how very soon you're gonna start associating yourself with the individuals or organizations which are a bit further ahead in your standing, or what I'm trying to say, into what you are trying to do, trying to build, you know, whatever you're trying to build a business, well, that you may start associating yourself with people that already have such a business, you know. And when you associate with them and they kind of like entrust you enough, then they will reveal the true, so to speak, recipe to how they succeeded into becoming that far ahead. And you will realize that by this point, you know, your association with how you can get there, it's false. It's simply your standards will be broken down and rebuilt. We can see that from here, the Page of Pentacles and the Star card as an elemental dignity. This is a passive enemies. It's basically what describes it is that the current insinuations of ideals and standards, how things are gonna work out, it is basically unrealistic to a certain extent, not the whole of it, but to a certain extent. And therefore, through criticism, fruitful discussions with people which are further ahead than you are, through cooperation with them, and even through their support, you will align and readjust to the new standards which are needed in order for you to build something that deserves a dedication and that holds a true and strong value, which it's going to worth it at the end of the day. So bottom line, what do you need to know? Don't take aggressively any criticism that is going to come your way very, very soon, because it's every single one of them is going to have merits. So it will be best for you to just explore it, take the positivity out of it, and exert it into your doing and into your work. Chandra, thank you so much for your $4.99. Thank you, Chandra. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personal reading, so make sure that you do stay up until that point. All right, so that was for Cancer, for Gemini, I'm sorry. Now we are moving to Cancer. First one for Cancer, Three of Swords. Followed by the King of Wands. And the third one, that is going to be the High Priestess. So those are the three cards. Hello, Artemis. Welcome to the stream. Three cards. Actually, the Three of Swords is in the middle. Hold on a second. That's important. Three of Swords is in the middle. And looking at that Three of Swords, you may say, oh my god, such a terrible read. Actually, it's a great read, by the way. It speaks about the indomitable tenacity that you will have to... It's about ambition, okay? So indomitable tenacity to push your ambition forward, or to develop a very strong drive, making or pushing that ambition forward. That is how those cards stand. It is like waking up one morning, Cancer, and saying, you know, enough's enough. I don't want to depend on, say, random circumstances to allow me to become better, to become stronger, to become more successful. I want to depend on myself, and so pushing forward or becoming, you know, with that particular state, boosting thy confidence and self-esteem here, denying above everything else, denying the mental cruelty which you may be facing left, right, and center, even through social medias as well. Many people ask me, what is mental cruelty? Well, did it? Yeah. Well, mental cruelty is everything that kind of like twists your mind. Okay. Mental cruelty, for example, or say unrealistic beauty standards, even, people which are stuffing themselves with with all kind of chemicals. The full Mendeley table is in them, and they are trying to portray themselves as a natural, natty, so they call. That is a mental cruelty. Mental cruelty as well, it is when you are verbally abused, being led to believe that, you are less than what you are. That is also a mental cruelty. Everything that twists your perception, it's a mental cruelty. So, it's basically you're not going to allow that mental cruelty basically to cloud your judgment. And what that is going to lead you to, Cancer, is the very, very least, the bare minimum for the next few days to a couple of weeks is going to be that you will allow yourself to have more fun. It's just that esteem to experience the joy from the life, whether through food or through drinks, walking, uh, exercising, whatever you do, okay? It's gonna be more pronounced, and also the eagerness to just identify that I said at the start, a very effective measures and actions which are going to make your agenda, your ambition, pushing forward even further. This is a resilience toward failure, or the feeling of a failure, especially with the past, so to speak. Where if you had failed in the past, when it's like the children, when children do something wrong, or rather like when they do a mistake, they are afraid to try again, not to do the same mistake again. Well, you will have resilience toward that, and you will have no problem doing it, trying it again, this time doing much, much better. So what do you need to know, Cancer, is that you will be much more resilient, to exterior influence directed to detain you from developing your own ambitions. Anna, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars support. Thank you, Anna. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personal reading. And now one of you can have a free reading with me, guys. All you gotta do is just input a question into the comments down below. And after about 5 minutes, I'm gonna pick one of your questions, and I will perform a professional reading on it. Yeah, but the spread was different, Anna. It's a different spread. Three and a half minutes. All right. So 2 questions. One of them cannot be answered with tarot though. Hey, Mattia, welcome to the stream. So I'm gonna take the other one. A new position opens up at my old work. Should I apply for it or stay? I cannot take a choice for you, Artemis. So let's see what happens if you do stay put. And that way you can decide, should you take the chances ruining of what you have or stay put. So those are your 4 cards. 9 of Wands, 8 of Swords, High Priestess, and the Devil. Artemis, if you stay put according to those cards, very soon you are to be reassured that you are there for the long ride and that there is a point to it and there is a reason for it and there is a value to it as well. So if you do want to risk that, by all means, do it. Mattia, thank you so much for your 1999 US dollars. Thank you, Mattia. And Jasmine as well. Thank you as well for your 1999. Thank you, Jasmine. Oh, you wish a Lenormand reading. All right. Let me just pick my card first. You wish a Lenormand one. Happy Tuesday, Zori. So you are somewhere in Europe then, if you are saying Tuesday, or maybe Australia, or maybe somewhere in Asia. I'm pretty sure that it's still Monday in America. So where are you from? Denmark. There we go. A fellow European. No, let me fill up the list. Oh, your current position is a good one. That was the point of it. I can't make a choice for you. Hey, Sean. No, I haven't done Aqua yet. Alright, next. Leo. First card for Leo, that will be the Eight of Swords. Second card for Leo, that will be the Magician. And the third one for you guys, we do have the Ten of Wands. Second to last. Pisces is always last. Okay. It's a pretty straightforward, truth be told, for Leo with those three cards. And that is the unfound, that is about their unfound potential. About everything they are. This elemental dignity could unfold for any kind of topic and for any kind of situation. So let me give you a few examples here. Let's say dating, okay? So what do you need to know, and what you are about to start seeing is that you don't have to kind of like go with the flock, you know, and be one of the many. You can be yourself, you can be unique, and those that you have preferences for are still gonna like you, and they are even gonna like you more. You're also gonna learn that if you are explaining yourself in your own way, you are gonna be heard more. Also, you are gonna learn that you do have so much more to do and so much more to give and so much more to accomplish as well. But also you will see that it will require a lot of well, depending on the situation, I'm gonna say it that way, it requires a lot of efforts, and we can see it here through that elemental dignity. The Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands is when you do realize that just the lack of effort that you are putting, it is the barrier which does not allow you to excel of where you want to excel. And in order to excel in it, you have to start putting that effort into a new, can I put it into words, new avenues of action. Okay, so signing up for new classes about something, okay, or enrolling in a college or in a university or learning a new skill, it has to be through a new acquisition of an arsenal of efficiency. Again, knowledge, skill, new line of profession, and so on and so forth. So the question, Leo, for you after a few days or maybe a couple of weeks is not gonna be can I accomplish that, whatever your goal is, but it will be, do I have the balls to accomplish it? Because it will be a lot of a dedication, because the whole thing, you will realize that then it does have a requisitions. It requires for you to fit in a certain criterias, and you totally can if you put the efforts behind it. Do you want to? Well, that's entirely up for you to decide. But at the end of the day, if you decide not to, then you will be the only one to be blamed for, or you will be the only one to blame yourself. No, you will be the only one to be blamed that it didn't happen. So you will have no one else to blame but yourself. That was my point here, that it didn't happen. And by the way, you may want to use your communicational skills for the next few days. They are going to be really remarkable and also exceptional. So if you do want to negotiate something, next few days are your days, guys, to do so. Right, so that was Leo. Now, moving next, we do have Virgo. Now, there is a about a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes until Aquarius. So for Virgo, we do have Two of Pentacles first. Second card, that will be the Five of Swords. And the third one, that will be the Hermit. Actually, Virgo are gonna have a bit of a tough time in front of them. Hello, Kate. How do I explain that? Cross-watching, you mean sneak peeking, eavesdropping is what you're doing. Right, so let's first focus on this one, okay? On this elements of dignity. So what it stands for, will she be happier if you move on? All right, Sean. I will answer that. But just so we be clear, Sean, will she be happier? No matter what the card says, they do not say for how long that's gonna be the case. Okay, she may be, if they say that she's gonna be happier, she may be happier for a couple of days and then she's gonna start missing you and blah, right? Or even vice versa. She may miss you at the first couple of days and then start becoming happier. I will answer that, but just so you know that you cannot take the question as that is going to be for a lifetime, right? This, what is going to depict it is the very first, you know, initial feeling that's going to have. All right, so again, those two cards. But what they really are showing is that is the parable that in most of the cases, the results just don't justify the means, especially if you are miserable about, you know, throughout the whole process, and you are even miserable post process. Let me give you a very quick example that it is so common. Which is so common that, you know, it makes me sad sometimes. But whether it's a man or a woman that loves someone else which doesn't love them, all right, but they are still loving them and they are chasing them and they're going through a freaking miserable time, and even if eventually they end up with that person doesn't love them anyway, so still makes their time miserable. So does really the goal, which is to be with the person you love, justifies the means and even the result that you get? Agony, a life of agony, right? So that is something that you need to know, that some of the goals, even some of the plans, next few days will turn out not to be justified, right? Not to worth the means to reach. And even you are going to see that most of them are even outdated, straight away outdated. That they can't be applied. Well, they can be applied, but they're not going to produce the same result. So is it really worth going forward with it? Well, your initial response is that yes, it is. I want it. I want to go for it. But the other elemental dignity that we do have for you, Virgo, which is the Hermit, okay, shows that simultaneously with that process of you seeing that, you know, I am probably not for that woman or not for that guy anymore. They're not for me. That job isn't worth my time anymore, and so on and so forth. So simultaneously with that process, something else is going to start showing up. And what is that else? I cannot say because that's a general reading, but as the Hermit stands for, or what the Hermit stands for, it is a essential and important aspect of thy life, which aspect is faced with wisdom and intelligence. So your emotions are not going to tell you what to do. Your wisdom and intelligence should be the one who tells you what to do, to recognize the importance of that direction and just start walking it. That direction will be different from the direction that you currently have. And will you take it? Well, that's entirely on you. But this new direction will be the direction that you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. That is what you definitely need to know. All right, that was Virgo. Now moving on, next we have Libra. Yeah, Sean, feelings are a tricky thing to be answered. They always change, okay? They always change. Eight of Swords for Libra. With the Page of Swords, which is the second one. And the third one is going to be Five of Pentacles. Mm. That's a bit of a all over the place for what Libra have. So from one side, basically constant change of a lifestyle. It's only making you go nowhere. That is what you need to know, definitely. And from the other side, however, we do have some unique thoughts that you may have right now, or you are about to have, right? They are about to invade your mind in the next few days. Which thoughts are worth exploring? So for me, by the look of those cards, the problem with you, Libra, is that you just can't, or you don't want to definitively say, that is what I want to do, and I'm gonna stick with it no matter what. Okay, so it's very important not to have a second guesses next few days, even next few weeks. according to these cards, because those second guesses, obviously, you know, they are only going to restrict you and are not allowing you to go outside of your current box. So should you have planned any kind of progress, all right, if you constantly change your mind, how to go about it, you will never gonna reach that progress, according again to these cards. Another thing that you need to avoid, it's conflicts for the next few days. That is very clearly stated here by those two cards, right? Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords. That is when, you know, you're trying to make your points across and you're trying to be really elaborative about your explanation, and the other side just can't fathom it, right? They just don't want to listen. It's not even no one, they just don't know where you are coming from. No different than, you know, trying to explain to a banker that money doesn't matter, that for you money are, you know, just a mean to an end and nothing more than that. While for the banker, their results, you know, they're not the numbers in the bank account. Money are results. For you, just means to an end. You are never gonna get a common ground on that. So that is the kind of the energy that surrounds having an argument with people around you, Libra. So it will be, if you see right away, you know, that they can't fathom you, it's best stop explaining yourself, because you just won't be able to make your points across. Another thing that's will be, how can I put it into words, an urge which you will have, but you totally don't have to go by it, is to clean up some of your social circle, make a purge, so to speak. People that are just, you know, constantly going against you in a term of opinion. You just don't share the same points of view. It's my point here, and that is because you will realize that there is no point having them. It's just waste of time. So that is for Libra. But the best thing that's the biggest thing that you need to know it is that you just have to stick with what you already decided for. Or if you are to make a changes now, stick with them, right? Because constantly changing your mind and your opinion about one thing or another, it's just will have no progress. I have to kind of change that freaking chair, man. Okay, Scorpio. Justice, first one. Oh, with the star, second one. We do have the devil, third one. It's gonna be a big Scorpio period. All right. So first thing we need to know, every effort counts, right? Every goddamn effort counts, and it will be rewarded in either way. You make an effort to screw someone's life, or guess what? You are going to be rewarded. You were rewarded about it reciprocally. You make an effort for improving your life, you are to be rewarded with it through improvement of life. Any kind of effort is to be rewarded. That is the spiritual part of what we need to know for the next few days, all right, and even couple of weeks. Now when we're talking about efforts, those efforts are going to be very strict, or rather like the demand is going to be very strict. So we definitely can't do whatever we want. God, I hate that. I love doing what I want, but it seems that that's not going to be the case this time around. Anyway, so we definitely cannot do whatever we want. It will be a eye gouging what is required from us. And if we want to get what we need, if we want to get what we want, we got to make our do for it. Because without justice being slapped right in the middle, well, yeah, definitely ain't gonna get it for free. Okay, and not just only justice, but the devil being next to justice. And now that I see those cards, the devil and the lovers are the biggest enemy in tarot, but justice is a pretty big adversary to the devil as well. Okay, because at the end of the day, the devil wreaks chaos, or rather like makes you wreak chaos. And justice, it's the opposite. Justice is order, right? So despite that we may have other plans for the next few days, maybe a few weeks, all right, despite that we may have the plans to do certain things we want, it will turn out that there are a more urgent situations that we will have to address, which will pay off, right? But we may not be exactly thrilled to address those situations. Now you can go to sleep? Yeah, right. So, and from the other side, that will be the star card. Okay. So basically, this is another message here is that if we do put our brain into structuring our priorities and manage our time, all of our problems will disappear. All of them are going to disappear in a sense of that they will be now resolvable. Maybe not in the way you want or we want, but a resolution is resolution regardless if it is the resolution we want or not. And if we do accept that resolution, then afterwards the life opens up and we can start building up anew our ideals, criteria, standards, and basically forging up the life the way we want it. But first, you know, we have to live through the reciprocality, so to speak, of the giving and taking, because neither one can only give, neither one can only take. There must be a balance in it. So I wonder which side I am from the scale. I wonder which side you are from the scales as well. All right, so that was Scorpio. And now the second, and now one of you can have a free reading should you wish to. All that you gotta do to claim one is to input a question into the comments down below. I will give you about 5 minutes to do so, and after those 5 minutes I'm gonna pick one of your questions and perform a professional reading on it. Anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you guys are gonna have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And if you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services and also their pricing. So Pisces Moonbeam, what are you convincing with the convo we do had? What are you able to convince that person? Well, Zori, for such kind of a question, you better go visit the shaman. Tarot works with questions. I mean, specific situations. Questions which are surrounding specific situations. I mean, they can answer that, but it's gonna be so broad that it could be literally anything. Yeah, more or less, Sean, yes. I mean, the moon carries on more information, but more or less is, yeah, it's, because the moon, I think it carries on as well your fantasies and these kind of stuff, but more or less is, yeah, how you feel, that is. So if you do listen to your moon rising and sun sign, you're basically gonna know what you are gonna face, how you're gonna face it, and how you're gonna feel about it. So it gives you the full picture. Yeah, it's much better, Zori. Pisces Moonbeam is gonna pick the question this time around. So yeah, fantasies, the undercurrent. What else can be? Just kidding. Pisces Moonbeam, pick a question. The time's up. Big Zori. So about her Mr. Virgo, eh? Alright. Because Anna, your appearance attracts. That is why the rising sign attracts, you know, the situations and all that. Because you appear smart, for example, you appear knowledgeable, you appear confident, you appear experienced, and that's why you're hired for the job. Now, how you are going to tackle with that job, now that's another story, okay? Because your appearance attracts. Zori, are you together? No, you aren't together. All right. You can be if you want to by the mid of August this year. I don't want to sway you into the one or the other direction. But it's just so, I mean, those are your cards, right? So we do have the Empress first, followed by the Fool. Afterwards is the Page of Cups. And final one is Judgment. So all four in a specific line of question could come up as a child. I don't think that all four are coincidence being here. Okay. And if you end up together, that's gonna be the reason why. So my speculation is that the way things are developing in between you two, okay, eventually you may end up sleeping together, you ending up pregnant, and that's what's gonna force you being together with that Mr. Virgo. Is it good and okay for you to go down that road? Well, that depends entirely on you. Before you decide to whatever you are to do about that situation, what the cards are advising you, okay, is to think about it very carefully, because whichever way goes, it's gonna stick for a very long time, maybe for a lifetime. Okay, so do you really want to have that guy stuck with you for the rest of your life? Or can you live without him for the rest of your life? You have to make your choice about that. That's basically how it stands with him now. A couple of minutes, and then moving on to the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. It's always messy when our children are involved. Yeah. Well, thank you. At least you call it a talent rather than a gift. I hate when people call it a gift. Oh, thank you. All right, Sagittarius next. Two of Swords. It's the first one. Second one, it is the Page of Swords. And the third one is going to be the King of Pentacles. It's pretty clear for Sagittarius that for the next few days is going to benefit them the most if they just keep their mouth shut, right? That can be seen from the three of those cards. So basically what they are pointing here, hello Angela, welcome to the stream. So basically what they point, guys, it is that you know, the circumstances are not quite ready. I don't want to say the word nearly ready, all right? So they are not quite ready for you to either make, well, to make your statement most likely, but also to make your move as well. Right now, if you go forward with your actions, at least according to these cards, it could go literally either way. The foundation could not be more unstable than it is right now. So it will be best to wait, and that is all that you need to know. Just wait for a while, few days, a week, and the right course of action for one thing or another pretty much is going to become obvious to you. I mean, in a week, you will know should you approach your beloved one, the person that you like, and should you approach them for a, you know, intimate relationship or not, because you will see that they're not interested into it, right? And why you should embarrass yourself before that. Or should you ask for raise or not, knowing that you may be fired for it, right? So it will be best for now to just stay dormant, lay low as you can, just observe how the circumstances shift, and when they shift, you're pretty much gonna know once again what you need to do. And one of the more pronounced ways when you are gonna know when is your cue, it is when a very unexpected source of help appears, either through unexpected means, right, or the very last person you expected offers you help. That's gonna be your cue. You take the help. That's your right course of action. So that was oh, and no investments. That is the worst thing you can do, right, for the next few days. With those two cards, no investments. Investments are just not gonna pay off if we are to believe those two cards. But at the end of the day, you do whatever suits you best. Christy, you're just tuning in for it. Now it's Capricorn. Have a hard time with comparability. I mean, that is a mild understatement. They are just from different planets. Okay? They are just from different freaking planets. Uh, Capricorn. We do have the strength first. Second one, that's going to be a Four of Cups. And the third one, that will be, ooh, the Ace of Swords. So I can't tell you what you need to know because it's going to come your way. Capricorn. It's what we do have here. Hold on a second. It's what we do have here. That's a big ass information, a big ass truth, right? It's just he's gonna crack open the case, so to speak, and you just basically gonna know how you stand. You're gonna know what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna know how far that one thing can go. It's just basically everything is gonna be clear to you, and that's this information, this truth, whatever the case, it's gonna make you nervous, right? You're just not gonna be able to hold your horses, for a lack of a better word. And we can see that with those two cards here, where you just will want to get on with it, all right? Get it done and move on with your life for everyone's sake. And that's going to be the best course of action, by the way. But there is one condition. Once you are ready to move forward and act on this information or this statement, this truth, whatever the case, you should do it your way rather than trying to seek confirmation from those around you. What are your actions are true or false? For example, you do not go to, let's say, astrologers or numerologers, tarot readers, whatever, to tell you what you should do. You do not seek confirmation. Once again, you just do whatever you know your behavior dictates. You should, because if not anything else, your sense for how you must react on the situation, on the information, on the truth is going to be spot on, and you should listen to it. Well, Sean, let me put it that way. To a certain extent, Sagittarius loves freedom, and they can't be bothered. All right, it's they don't want to deal with the big deal, while Capricorn is the opposite. It's not like Capricorn don't like freedom, but they want structure. Capricorn wants to see results, right? Whenever they are to do something, they want to see results. While the Sagittarius, it is like, it tries it out, see that it is difficult. You know, big deal. I'm just gonna jump on to the next one. And the Capricorn is just, I just can't stand you, right? So yeah, they are different in about almost everything for what I learned so far. I mean, I may be wrong though. All right, Aquarius. I don't know, Pisces Moonbeam, is Sagittarius the star sign that strives for freedom the most, or is that Aquarius? One of the two should be. Aquarius, Two of Wands is the first one. Well, Anna, somebody has to. Someone has to, okay? Followed by the Lovers. It's the Lovers. And the third one, that's gonna be the Moon. And what? So every time after we argue, and you know, after we kind of like cut the line off, and you are fucking Aquarius. Ugh, I hate his Aquarius rising. Ugh, and Jupiter on top of it, being in the middle of it. Ugh. Why couldn't he be Taurus, you know, rising, or maybe Capricorn rising? So much better, isn't it? But you know why I love my Aquarius rising. All right, so for Aquarius, those three cards that we have. Pisces Moonbeam just said it. You know, Aquarius already has it. So these three cards. First of all, those two, right? Those two for Aquarius, none will matter. That is what they say. In other words, that you know, none will have a huge impact upon our future for the next few days, a week or two even. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be important. Okay, bottom line is that if we do decide that we don't want to deal with that anymore, we can definitely withdraw from it. But that is only for the things which start from this moment forward in the next week or two. So what this encourages, experiment. Do what you want, right? Do what makes you happy. And that is within the next elements of dignity here, Two of Wands and the Lover's card. First of all, those two says the next couple of next few days to a week or two, there is no wrong choices. Basically, whatever you decide to do carries on certain consequences, carries on certain pros, carries on certain lessons, and ultimately at the end we all are gonna end up in harmony with what we have decided to in favor of, right? Because that's gonna be a learning curve, it's gonna be a learning experience which materially is not gonna have any repercussions, at least if those cards are to be believed. We'll have no repercussions whatsoever for our future. And for that reason, it will be, like I said, it's best for the next few weeks. That's what we need to know. Next few days to a week, exploring, trying, testing, enjoying. And the best way how we can spend that is trying and seeing how best we can resolve certain predicaments and certain problems around us. But we can also use it, you know, to explore as Pisces Moonbeam mentioned here, our sexuality, for example. We can use that energy to explore our hobbies, you know, to explore our skills, and so on and so forth. I did, Sean. I saw it. Right, so that was Aquarius, and at the end we do have Pisces. Oh yeah, there is no question about it. I mean, I'm single now for a very long time, and I don't regret a single day from it. All right, Three of Cups. It's the first one for Pisces. The second one is going to be the Five of Pentacles. And the third one, that's going to be the Two of Wands. So good and a bad news. The good one, Pisces, is that you are to see that more people than your anticipation are actually supporting you. Okay, more people are going to be there for you if you need them. More people does share your view, does share your vision, does share even your emotions about one thing or another. That's the good thing, right? The bad thing, or rather like the unpleasant thing, it is that at least for the next few days to a couple of weeks, according to that elemental dignity here, you won't be able to do much with it. Not about it, but much with it. So you do have now that many friends, and yeah, they support you, they see things the way you see them, and so what? Okay, and so what? Now, fear not, that may come into use further down the road, but not right now. So the best way how you can use this energy is, how do I put it into words? It's just surrounding yourself with that warmth, because materially it's not going to be able to help you in any way, at least for now, right? But the emotional and the moral support that you can have from those people is gonna be huge for you, which could count for worlds, isn't it? But it will be best that you do not overstay your welcome. It will be best if you do not force the issue forward, because then this is gonna sever the emotional flow that comes from one person to another. It's like, for example, you're in a tough situation right now, and people commiserate with you, all right? They really feel your pain, and you start kind of like exploiting that kindness. They're gonna see through it, and they will no longer going to be commiserating with you, no longer are going to be at your side, so to speak, when you really need them. So that is what you need to know. For you, next few days to a week or 2 weeks are entirely about building up an arsenal, building up an alliances, building up a connections with the people around you, so whenever you need them you can use them, but not now. Right, so that was for Pisces, and now the last free reading is gonna take place. So one of you can have a free reading right now. In order to take it, all that you gotta do is just input a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes, let me put those cards over here. So in about 5 minutes, Pisces Moonbeam is going to pick one of your questions, which I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. And after that, the super chat readings are to take place. So anyone who supported the stream and is about to support the stream through the through super chat is gonna have a reading at the end. That's guaranteed. It's that one here, Heaven and Earth. It's that one. Well, Sean, there is a very simple solution to that. Just spend your day in bed. How about that? Well, they are. Well, sometimes the solution is the most simple way moving forward. Yeah, it's just a suggestion, you know, we can stop anywhere. Alright, Pisces Moonbeam, pick a question. Pick a question, Pisces Moonbeam. Good night, Zori. Have a great one. Jen and her Pisces. What is the question now? Right, so Jen, will the misunderstanding be cleared? Those are cards. It will, but it's not going to change the things much. Okay, so that's what those cards are showing here, is that the person that you are inquiring for, they know the truth, they just don't feel it. Okay, and so I don't think that's for as far as those cards are showing, the misunderstanding is already cleared. It is just they don't feel it. Okay, and so that's not going to change their position, at least not anytime soon. I'm sorry that I will have to serve you that, but it is how it stands with those cards. So I would suggest you don't waste your breath anymore. Right now, a couple of minutes and then moving for the super chat readings. You're welcome, Jen. Sherry, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Thank you, Sherry. You're about to have your personal reading in a moment. All right, so first is gonna be Jasmine with the Lenormand. Read. All right, Jasmine. First one. Those three cards. So either there is a woman involved, which is gonna send you either a message or a document that will present you with a choice, okay, whether to take it or not to take it. I don't know what that document is going to be all about in a sense of what sphere in your life is going to refer to, but you will have the final say there, okay? After that, those three, right? So that is a, can I put it into words? That is a new love situation within your social circle which you are to be involved into, okay? You are to be involved into that new love situation. Doesn't have to be shared one, right? And the final one, is going to be the change of how people see you. So basically, someone or some group of people are going to start seeing you as a different person. That could have a good effect if you want to be liked more by someone, or it could have a negative effect if you don't like to be disliked, if you don't want to be disliked by someone, okay, depending on what situation you are in right now. But basically the last three cards are saying is that how people perceive you is gonna end and is gonna anchor in a different, you know, in a different view, in a different understanding, in a different way. So it's gonna have a positive and a negative kind of like application depending on the people which are gonna be applied for. But the biggest thing that you should look forward to it is that love situation. Who knows? I mean, I think that someone is gonna start falling in love with you, and it will be best to answer. I don't know. All right, so next will be Chandra. Just let me shuffle. All right, Chandra. Your card is the Devil. That's very simple. What you need to know is that for the next few days, maybe a week, whatever you want, go, right? Basically, it seems that your influence is going to be at its peak, and so you will be able to, if you want to say it in a different way, I don't know how to say it in a different way, but basically you will be able to enforce or even force your way. That is, should you decide to go forward with. Bottom line is that you do get to have the luxury to dictate the circumstances under which things are gonna work out and under which things are gonna happen. That is in your life. And I hope that you do have the best of intentions with it, because eventually, you know, it will come a time where you will have to answer for that. And Yeah, Jasmine. One-sided. At least at the start, that is. Okay. So yeah, Chandra, eventually, you know, you are to be held accountable. So make sure that whatever you are to do under the energy of the devil card, you do it with best of intentions. All right, Sean. Almost similar like Chandra's message is yours. We do have those two, so Five of Swords with the Knight of Wands. Okay. So what you need to know it is that next few days to a week or two, gonna present you with a lot of enterprising circumstances, for a lack of a better word. And it will be, you can do what you want, Sean, but in some of those circumstances, the price of you to pay for doing what you want is gonna happen to be more that you know. So it will be most beneficial for you to know what you can get away with, and you definitely know that by whenever you do see something, you know, and you want to be a part of it, you calculate the risk, and should there be any risk, then there is a price to pay that is going to be more than you know. So basically, do not stretch your limits, do not stretch your boundaries, and you are going to be okay. And another thing that it will be that you do need to know it is that you should be careful whom you are trusting in the next few days to a week or two, because there is a big chance to be left hanging, in a sense of that promised something and then you just, the person just ghosts you. It vanishes. It's no longer there. And it is because it will be a free for all out there, mate. I mean, for the next few days, it will be literally a free for all out there. All right, Sherry, your card is the Hermit with the Nine of Swords. Sherry. So what you need to know is that within the next few days to a week or two, you're gonna have your answer, and that answer is gonna scare you. It's gonna petrify you. So definitely it's not gonna be something you would want to take on, you would want to do. But I would advise you to sleep on it before you say definitive no, because at the end of the day, it will be the only wise and an intelligent direction and choice that you would take. Okay. So just, you know, just because you are scared at first glance, right? Don't take a rational decision to basically annihilate that door, annihilate that option available. All right, next, Anna. You're welcome, Sean. First card for you, Anna, Four of Swords. Then it is the Temperance. And the third one, that is going to be the Chariot. Okay. So, those three cards, and what you need to know, Anna, is that you are making things way harder than they need to be on yourself, that is. And one of the reasons for that could be because right now, whether the people or the help around you, it's not professional enough. Okay, and so you are fed those um half half efficient suggestions and guidance and so on and so forth, instead of actually, you know, kind of like deliberating on the issue, on the matter, with people that really know what they're talking about, people that really know what they're doing, and serving you basically the painless way of moving forward, whether to uh, improve, for example, I don't know, your health, living situation, business, love life, whatever the case, right? Whatever right now you are trying to developing. So it will be kind of like it will be best to try to relate yourself or connect yourself with more experienced individuals, especially more experienced by you, from you. That is, so you can start learning from them. But definitely, by the look of these cards, you're definitely making things much harder than they need to be. And if you do find those loyal and faithful companions who are capable, and not just only capable, but what is the word? Competent, right? Competent into the fields that you are talking about for. Basically the correct way forward for reaching your target, your goal, is going to be revealed. So maybe what you need to know is that maybe you want to consider, okay, whom you are associating with, and how objective and how can I put it into words, objective and profound even are discussions that you are, how onto the point those discussions are that you are leading with those people. I forgot what was the general reading, to be honest. All right, next, Mattia. Well, Mattia, you are the winner tonight. At least for us, at least that is if those cards are to be believed. We do have those three, Mattia. Where do I begin from? Now, first, you will learn that something is gonna work out. A project, an idea, an undertaking, and it's an undertaking, idea, or a project that basically you don't have much experience into it. Okay, you have my point is that you haven't done such thing before, maybe to a certain extent back, but not in such a scale. And in the next few days, you will see that, you know, it's rolling up pretty well, and actually it's almost unstoppable. You will face no major issues along the road until you reach the target of it by the end. And in fact, that you do have a great deal to learn from it yourself as well, to develop skills, knowledge, whatever the case, from the whole thing, experience as well. Another thing from those cards, what you are gonna come up to find out is that that may sound a little bit insulting, so I'm not going to say it that way. So I'm going to try to explain it that way. You know, when people have their everybody has some kind of a thought, okay, some kind of a understanding for the world that everybody else is thinking that they're crazy for it. to a point where we think that we are crazy for it. Well, you will come to know in the next few days that you are far from crazy for it. Actually, that is one of the better things that you stick to. And you will allow no one to tell you other way around from now on moving forward. So basically, it could play out, and in most cases plays out that way. What you have been criticized for a very long time turns out to be actually a freaking gold mine at the end. Turns out to be an aspect with not just only merit, but also foundation, tradition, and path forward. But I don't know, you know, what you're going through right now, but if you are going through troubles, that is also something that you need to know, that your troubles are about to end very, very soon. Alright guys, so with that said, this concludes the live stream tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for your generosity as well. And we're going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.